This is the story of how global debt became the engine of the modern world and what would happen if people really stopped lending.
This is actually, interestingly enough, someone once told me this, and for those that are a bit somewhat, there's an esoteric element to this where the actual system of credit and debt actually is patterned to some degree on the blood flow, where you have, the veins and the arteries and the whole circulation of blood. Believe it or not, there is an element of this that actually plays into how when you look at the stock exchange as well, and how you see this cycle as he's just described.
What do you mean by blood flow? Like
the blood circulation, the blood flow, like
biology? Are you talking about biology?
Yes. Yeah, the blood flow, right. It's the literal blood flow.
We are talking about like an element of nature here that influences like finance.
Arteries carry oxygenated blood. Okay. Veins carry deoxygenated blood. So there's this whole, and veins are green, usually, or sometimes blue. Arteries are red. Okay. Stock exchange, red and blue, and But what I'm trying to explain is that this follows a similar pattern in that method. Yeah. That's what he's trying to say. That this is he's going to go into this, but he's going to explain like how this is self-sustaining. Do you understand? So it's like
self-perpetuating,
right? And that's why it's like the whole world in itself. There's this like sort of this illusory entity. If you're using the bloodstream analogy that I'm making, there's this illusory entity that is existent because of the money flow. The credit and the debt, That's what I was trying to refer to.
I get you.
Debt might sound like a modern problem, just a big, scary number on a government spreadsheet. But in reality, it's one of the oldest ideas in human history. Long before banks, before coins or paper money, debt was simply a promise. Imagine lending your neighbor a bag of grain in the spring. When harvest came, they'd pay you back, maybe with a little extra as a thank you. No interest rates, no complicated contracts, just trust. Because for thousands of years, humans understood a simple concept. Sometimes you need something right away, but can only pay for it later. That's all debt really is at its core. Borrowing from tomorrow to solve a problem today.
Not until
over time, simple personal loans evolved into something much.
Yeah, there's the interest. Don't forget the not in that case, but like that's the little addition that came later, right? The interest that accrues over time.
And then it's like compound interest.
Oh yes, exactly.
So it's not just interest; it's like interest on the interest, and that interest gets more, and it like multiplies. It's like credit cards are not just. It doesn't increase. In a straight line, it kind of goes higher.
And have you noticed that, like with credit cards and everything, they're always trying to pitch credit cards and make you get credit cards, and they're always telling you like, buy this, oh, you can do it credit or on a loan or because it's all good for your credit score. Your credit score, it's all about.
I try and avoid them. Yeah.
Oh, I learned the hard way. Not the hard way, but I learned very fast like what that was all about, and I was just like, But everybody says, and then they lock you in a system because they say. You can't get a house or you can't get a car in some cases, right? Without a credit score. You need a credit score,
right? Credit score.
So, you know what that reminds us of? We just mentioned it earlier. You know what the credit score kind of reminds us of? It's
like that database with a rating system and
predecessor to the social credit score.
You know what? Like back when I lived in the UK, people couldn't get what's it called? Like a mortgage.
Yeah.
If you have a low credit score.
Exactly.
So for example, they say for somebody who's never had a credit card, they're not entitled, let's say, to get a mortgage. Mm-hmm. Somebody who's never had a loan, never had a credit card, who has been like self-sustainable for their life, cannot buy a house even if they have the money.
It's madness. But the person who's been in debt,
even for the down payment,
the person who's been in debt, who's had to take loans and has been always in debt, and blah, 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 blah,
you have to be part of the fucking system,
right? That's what I'm saying. If you want to be a blood cell, you got to join the bloodstream.
Bigger. Kings wanted castles, empires needed ships and cannons, but no single lender could foot the bill. In the 1600s, England faced this exact same problem. King Charles II was preparing for war with the Dutch, but the treasury was empty, and the nobles refused to lend. So they tried something new. They sold pieces of debt to the public. In return for cash, citizens got a written promise of repayment with interest.
Kind of reminds me a bit of the stock market, to be honest. Like you're
but that's
paying
what
for a little piece of the company, and they're paying you back.
Yeah. This is what we were saying before, like how we I mentioned like how we're kind of still stuck in the Middle Ages, but the same framework system, but it's just adapted and progressed.
Exactly.
You know,
it is a system. I mean, even now with COVID, for example, you know, like like people were forced to get vaccines if they needed to travel.
Or even buy things, and you had to get that. Well, at one point it was that whole what was it, ID card or something, the pass.
Yeah, if you needed. Exactly, like with the QR codes. If you needed to go to a supermarket, to a school, if you're a parent, to anywhere, like you needed to have also COVID tests done, COVID shots done. And it's like a form of control. And there was a whole issue about like some nurses didn't want to get the COVID shot, but they had to like look after people, and they were short on nurses, or
they would lose their job. Actually, they would lose their job in some cases.
And even like everyone was worried that they would lose their jobs, like if they didn't get the shots. And some companies said you have to have a shot if you want to keep working here.
Exactly.
And it's all a form of control. And I don't like it.